Hey everybody, welcome back to Top 10 Nerd. I'm your host Kelly Pally, and today I'm joined by a familiar face.
I'm Lucy McPhee from Top 5 Scary Videos.
Ooh, so scary.
Yeah, if you like some spooky or scary vids, you should head on over there. It's me and Jack Finch doing some.
Used to be me too. I used to.
Oh
I
yeah,
made a few little cameos on the channel for a
kicked
bit.
Kelly off the channel. She wasn't spooky enough, and as you know, the Brits are taking over, so had to edge her out a bit.
Yeah, but I'm still here, guys. I'm still here. You can't get rid of me. I'm like a unfortunate sexually transmitted infection.
Okay, that's wrong.
Just here always.
Yeah, okay.
Always here. Today we are counting down the top 10 Spider-Man Far From Home theories. So Avengers 4 hasn't even confirmed its title yet, and fans of the MCU are already diving into theories about the movies that will come after it and in Marvel Studios Phase 4.
And one of those films that's really taken many a fan into speculation town is Spider-Man's sequel solo film,
Far From Home.
Far From Home.
Far From Home. Well, it's already been confirmed that the movie will see Spider-Man quite literally far from home as he sets off into international locations. We also know that Avengers Infinity War and Avengers 4 will majorly impact Peter Parker in this sequel too. So let's jump into our list. And also heads up guys, there's probably spoilers, so
Lots of spoilers.
lots of spoilers, be warned friends.
In at 10, Mysterio. One of the biggest rumors that made the rounds on the interwebs was that Jake Gyllenhaal, who was set to be in the sequel film, would be playing the movie's antagonist, which was allegedly Mysterio. While it hasn't been set in stone that Mysterio is the confirmed character the actor is playing, photos have leaked of Gyllenhaal on set, along with a cell phone video of a scene in which he and Spidey are surrounded by a whole lot of destruction. With law enforcement black cars showing up, this has only further fueled the rumors that Mysterio is in fact who Gyllenhaal will be playing. The suit seems fitting of Mysterio and kind of has some Thor vibes to it.
Up next, number 9, Norman Osborn. Speaking of Gyllenhaal, Mysterio isn't the only character the critically acclaimed actor was rumored to be playing. In another theory posted by a redditor named Danish Royalty, a big debate was started over who exactly Gyllenhaal would be playing in the movie, suggesting that rather than it being Mysterio, he would be Norman Osborn. Whoa! While photos of the actor wearing a costume that looks very Mysterio-ish have been leaked, it's worthwhile hearing out the progression of this theory, and how Norman Osborn might fit into the mix. So the original theory speculated that since the MCU is notorious for misleading fans, and that perhaps Osborn has been working behind the scenes in the MCU for a while now, Jake Gyllenhaal could be playing him. And by behind the scenes we mean him being the mysterious buyer in Ant-Man and the Wasp, and the suggestion that maybe he's the one who gets Matt Gargan and Adrian Toomes out of prison. Plus there was another leak that Mysterio and Scorpion would be working for someone who will be a big villain who will be a major baddie in future movies. And the reveal of this character is supposed to be the holy crap moment of Far From Home. Now whether or not this theory about Gyllenhaal playing Norman Osborn is true, the idea of setting up the character in the movie is something that is entirely plausible. So maybe it's not Gyllenhaal, but maybe some other star celeb is Norman Osborn, who knows?
In at 8, no Norman Osborn. There's a pretty intense theory kicking around concerning Norman Osborn and Captain Marvel. We actually discussed it in our Captain Marvel fan theories list, and it's pretty important when considering the future of the MCU Spider-Man. So, Captain Marvel will be introducing the Skrulls into the MCU. The Skrulls are arguably most prominently known for the 2008 Secret Invasion story arc, in which the Skrulls have been quietly invading Earth for years, replacing heroes with their own Skrull agents as imposters, shapeshifting to look like those individuals. This theory speculates that since Norman Osborn's traditional role in the Spider-Man mythos has been allotted to other characters in the MCU, i.e. Tony Stark is his mentor and Adrian Toomes the villainous father of one of Peter's peers, that Osborn will be placed into the MCU under different circumstances, and those circumstances could be that he's a Skrull in disguise. Think about it. Skrulls and the Green Goblin have striking aesthetic similarities to one another. If this pans out to be true, it's likely that the Green Goblin may be introduced through other means in the MCU, and may not even clash with Peter Parker, although that seems a little unfair considering the long history the two of them have in the comics.
And at number 7, the Fantastic Four. Now that Disney and Marvel Studios have the rights back to their Fantastic Four and X-Men characters, fans have been buzzing with theories as to how these comic book icons will be integrated into the MCU, and if Deadpool will remain as is. Here's hoping. Anywho, Spider-Man has quite the history of mingling with the Fantastic Four, with Reed Richards being quite integral to the Spider-Man Venom storyline, when Venom was just a wee alien symbiote costume. One theory suggests that since Stark Tower was sold in Spider-Man Homecoming, that it will be renamed as the Baxter Building, aka the home of the Fantastic Four. It seems likely that the superhero team won't appear in the movie, but the Baxter Building reference would be a really nice touch, and help establish their presence moving forward.
In at 6, no Iron Man. Tony Stark is practically a father figure to Peter Parker. The character appeared in Spider-Man Homecoming after the two initially connected in Captain America Civil War, and has gone on to mentor him ever since. While Far From Home director John Watts has hinted to the media that Avengers characters will be included in Spidey's sequel, a report that was released in June of 2017 stated that Robert Downey Jr. wasn't going to be in the movie. This only further fuels the speculative fires that Iron Man will either be killed off or step away from his superhero career in the upcoming Avengers 4 film.
Up next, number 5, Miss Marvel's introduction. One of the big announcements that blew up Twitter in the past year was that Marvel Studio intends to introduce Kamala Khan's Miss Marvel character to the MCU. Now, for those of you out of the loop, after Carol Danvers ditched her Miss Marvel persona, eventually becoming Captain Marvel, a new Miss Marvel hit the scene, a Pakistani-American teenager who lives in Jersey City. She discovered that she was an Inhuman who has polymorph powers, which often manifests itself in stretching or shrinking her body. This has led to speculation as to how the character will be introduced, with many thinking that Marvel may take the whole Civil War approach again, integrating her in a minor way before we see more of her in her own feature film.
In at 4, Shuri. If you've seen any of our MCU fanships list, then you're probably aware that a huge chunk of the internet is dying to see Shuri and Peter Parker fall in love, or at least form an amazing friendship. Well, they'd have to meet each other first, and this is where this theory comes in. Many speculate that after Avengers 4, Tony Stark will be out of the superhero game. He's hoping that's his choice and not because he'd be killed off. So who better to replace him than the person who has been confirmed to be the smartest individual in the MCU? If the rumors about Iron Man not returning to the Spider-Man sequel are true, it would make a whole lot of sense if Peter came across Shuri and the two worked together. Perhaps not right off the top of the film, but many speculate that the movie will at least set a foundation that could lead to a blossoming friendship between the two. And hey, Wakanda is definitely far from home for Spidey.
Up next, number 3, the Green Goblin. Here's another Norman Osborn theory for you. This one suggests that rather than the Green Goblin being Norman Osborn, the villain will turn out to be the persona of a completely different character already introduced into the MCU, Liz Allen. Liz is the daughter of Adrian Toomes, aka the Vulture from Spider-Man Homecoming. While the popular belief is that Liz will return to the MCU as the mutant Firestar, others believe she'll end up taking on a very personal grudge against Spider-Man since the hero is the reason that her father is now imprisoned. The likelihood of this happening seems, well, not entirely plausible if we're being honest, although out of all the characters to turn on Parker, Liz would really mess with his head and emotions, considering he had a big old crush on her.
In at 2, loose adaptation. One theory on Reddit by user Gimme Your Cheeses suggests that Far From Home will be an adaptation of the 2005 Secret Wars story event. How so? In that Secret Wars series, several superheroes including Spidey found out that they were brainwashed after they were sent on a mission from Nick Fury to overthrow Latveria. Turns out that Nick Fury was actually a live model decoy since the real Nick Fury went into hiding after that secret war against Latveria. The Redditor suggests that Far From Home will feature Nick Fury using Spider-Man to track down targets and go on a secret war over in Europe, and that instead of it being Fury, the one commanding Spidey will likely be a Skrull rather than a life model decoy, since after Captain Marvel's film, the Skrulls will be a bit of a hot topic, meaning that Spidey would be taking out targets that the Skrulls want eliminated. This could tie to the theory that Secret Invasion storyline will be set in motion starting in Phase 4 of the MCU.
And finally, last but not least, we have this immense theory, and at number 1, the Sinister Six. So this theory is that the Sinister Six will be formed by the end of Far From Home. Now, who are the Sinister Six? Well, the group first formed in the Amazing Spider-Man Annual Issue 1 back in 1964, with the original team consisting of Vulture, Electro, Kraven the Hunter, the original Mysterio, and Sandman, all led by Dr. Octopus. How did it happen? Well, Dr. Oct, after enduring a series of crushing defeats at the hands of Spider-Man, or Webs, rather, rallies all of the supervillains he knows who have ever faced off against the Web Slinger. Those 5 are the ones who respond, and the group coordinate a sinister plan to kidnap Aunt May and Betty Brant, and then go about facing off against Spidey individually, which he then mocks after he defeats them. From then on out, the Sinister Six have been a reoccurring team of villains in Spider-Man's comics, their goals and tactics improving since that first iteration, thankfully. We even got to see the Sinister Six in the latest Spider-Man video game. Though for the MCU to move in that direction when it comes to their Peter Parker story, well, it it makes sense. We know that Matt Gargan will most definitely be returning, based on the post-credit scene in the first film. Michael Keaton will be reprising his role as the Vulture. So many believe that the groundwork for the Sinister Six will be put into place in this upcoming movie, and that by the third Spider-Man film, we'll get a full-blown Sinister Six plot, ready to stir up some major trouble. So there we have it, friends. Which of these theories were your favorites, and which ones do you guys hope will turn out to be true? Personally, I'm all for the Sinister Six, but I really want to see how Norman Osborn is going to be integrated. And I think the Skrull one.
The Skrull one is very interesting, actually.
That it is. And that could be making some major moves, Marvel Studios there. You know, that's some stuff right there.
Big moves.
That's some creative liberties
Big plays.
being taken. Big plays, yeah. Alright guys, give us a shout in those comments below and let us know your thoughts. If you dug this video, hit that like button, spread the love, and make sure to subscribe to Top 10 Nerd and also
Top 5 scary
stories.
videos.